Hello and welcome to the South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanand. And let's get started with the top headlines from the south of India on your screens right now. Heavy rain slashed several parts of Tamil Nadu. Red alert issued as cyclone Fengal is expected to make a landfall later in the day. Three teams of the Andhra Pradesh police on the lookout for director Ram Gopal Verma after the filmmaker fails to appear for questioning in a case regarding his posts on Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu. Telangana High Court pulls up the state government, asks it to submit a report after several students fall ill upon consuming midday meals in Narayanpet district. Tamil Nadu Electricity Board announces a planned power outage in several parts across Chennai on 20th of November, says power outage necessary to carry out essential maintenance work on the power grid. A massive fire breaks out in a plastic bag manufacturing unit in Hyderabad's Jedimella. Workers managed to vacate the premises as thick plumes of smoke engulf the area. Our only and top story at this hour is BS Yediyurappa forewarns Yatnal and ilk to bury differences in the state BJP unit. That's the big story which is coming up right now on your screens. What's really brewing in Karnataka BJP? Okay, that's the big story. Yediyurappa admits to differences in Karnataka BJP. Those are the three main characters, as it were. Right in the middle is the big giant of a man of the BJP in Karnataka, BS Yediyurappa, former Chief Minister, flanked by Yatnal and his son, who is the president of the state BJP unit, Vijendra. Now, the infighting, ladies and gentlemen, in Karnataka BJP is now out in the open. I know you're surprised, considering the BJP is a cadre-based party and they never ever wash their dirty linen out in public. It became more than apparent after the recent drubbing in the three by-elections, Chennapatana, Shigaon and Sandur, where the BJP-JDS alliance, despite highlighting the ruling Congress's slew of graft charges, failed to make any kind of an impact. The failure became stark with two signs of two former Chief Minister, Baswaraj Bommai and H.D. Kumaraswamy, losing badly. One of the main reasons for the combined loss is obviously the bitter infighting within the BJP, a party which ruled Karnataka for years and became a kind of a benchmark of having breached the southern citadel. For nearly 4 years now, an open rebellion has been brewing within the BJP, with Basanagowda Yatnal heading the rebel group along with Ramesh Jarkiholi, Kumar Bangarappa, Arvind Limbavali, former MPs Anna Saheb Jole, Pratap Simha and GM Siddeshwara. This group has repeatedly trained their guns on the state president, B.Y. Vijendra, who of course happens to be the son of Yediyurappa, calling him a result of nepotism, charging him with corruption and high-handedness. They say he is very arrogant. Do they have a reason? We will find out. But now, the grand old man of Karnataka BJP, former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa, has spoken. Even as Yatnal and Jarkiholi had decided to keep away from the joint Padayatra organized to protest against Congress's involvement in Muda and the Valmiki scam, the Waqf protests followed, and Vijaypura MLA Basanagowda Patil Yatnal flagged off a month-long protest from Bidar to oppose Waqf. BS Yediyurappa has now publicly reached out to Basanagowda Patil Yatnal and his group, urging them to join the party's official agitation against Waqf instead of making it a prestige issue by continuing with parallel protest in the state. It's not like there's an outreach. Yediyurappa is larger than life to give an outreach to these people. There is actually a veiled warning in all this, as you can see. Yediyurappa has also indicated that Yatnal's contentious outburst have now come to the notice of the High Command. He said, and I quote him here, "Already BJP State President B.Y. Vijendra has made it clear by appealing to everyone to take part in the party's agitation, but Yatnal seems to have taken out a parallel protest for the sake of his own prestige. It is not a right on his part. At least now he should give up his agitation and join the party's agitation. He also added that all the leaders will do everything to bring the party back to power. Listen in to what he said.
ಬಿಜೆಪಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲವರು ಒಡಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಿಜ, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದಂತೆಯೇ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ನಾಯಕರ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೇ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟೋ ಕಡೆ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಿನ್ನಾಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ, ಪಕ್ಷದ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೊರತೆಗಳಿದ್ದರೆ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ಬಲಪಡಿಸೋ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನವನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋಣ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಾನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿನಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಬಸವನಗೌಡ ಪಾಟೀಲ್, ಯತ್ನಾಳ್ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನು ಕೈ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ವಿಜಯೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಿಗೆ ವಿನಂತಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಆದರೂ ಸಹ ಅವರು ಸ್ವಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶೋಭೆ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಈಗಲಾದರೂ ಅವರು ಜಾಗೃತರಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿ ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ಬಲಪಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹಕಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ವಿನಂತಿ.
ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರು.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ, ಉಳಿದಂಥದ್ದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟದ್ದು.
Now, the daily disturbance within Karnataka BJP has had a domino effect on its alliance with the JDS. Even as many had predicted that it was an unholy alliance right from the start, Yediyurappa put to rest all such rumors and said that alliance of the two parties will continue, and again reiterated that the BJP-JDS coalition government will come to power in the state in the coming days. You know what, with Yediyurappa still the tallest BJP leader in the state, which of course gives Vijayendra a safety net and a head start, has Yatnal's ouster become now inevitable? And with it, a splinter group also, maybe, who knows, forming in Karnataka. Let's not forget that Yediyurappa also formed a splinter group. Let's debate. Dr. Baswaraj Yatnal, senior journalist and political analyst, has joined us, and Professor Chambi Puranik, political analyst, is also with us. A very warm welcome to both of you. This is the biggest story which is emerging from the south of India. Every day when I look at stories, it's only Karnataka, Karnataka, Karnataka. So now my viewers are telling me I'm very partial towards Karnataka. I'm happy about it. Dr. Yatnal, you know, we have seen the BJP for decades now, and I think that this is the first time when the Bhishma Pitama, BS Yediyurappa, had to come out, and the kind of words he uses, prestige, self-will, trying to make a mark on your own, stubborn. I mean, we are from the south. This is exactly like my father would speak, you know, that who do you think you are? Come back, this is good for you, do your dharma, etc., etc. Do you think, Dr. Yatnal, before I go to the other questions, this is a clear signal that A, there is a problem within the state unit of the BJP, and 2, Yatnal may be asked to leave?
Sudha, you know, on a lighter vein, Yediyurappa, Appa means father only. He talks like a father figure, and many leaders in BJP call him Appaji only. That's that apart. The point is, both you know, these coalition partners, BJP and JDS, seems to be suffering from this crisis of leadership, originating essentially from the, you know, a dynastic approach of the party leaders. Whether it is in BJP Yediyurappa or in JDS, it is Devegowda Kumaraswamy and so on. Coming back to BJP, between Yediyurappa and Yatnal, we need to understand what is happening. This rift came into the fore in 2019 only, when Yediyurappa became CM again. This came to the fore, and ever since Yatnal had been talking vehemently and quite strongly, much more strongly than their opponents would do. That has been in the public domain for a long time. But one needs to understand, however tall the Yediyurappa's leadership might be, but he as a person never allowed other Lingayat leader to come anywhere near nature. He always did that, whether it's B.B. Shivappa or whatever. And come to think of Yatnal, Yatnal was cabinet minister in Vajpayee cabinet in 1999. then Karnataka BJP was not even, imagining to be in power. Those were the days. Then he was union minister in Vajpayee cabinet. So he certainly has certain sense of entitlement that I'm senior and suddenly Yediyurappa is putting on my head and why should I join him? And there's a legacy also. But they had been talking, against Yediyurappa for such a long time. And right now it looks very awkward for Yatnal to come and join Vijayendra in his protest. That's why he's conducting this parallel protest in Vijayapur. All that is happening, but again at the same time, party high command also, if they had to take an action, you asked if Yatnal would be asked to leave. Yatnal is not talking for the first time. He had been talking for last 5-6 years. In last 5-6 years, he was not asked. There was no action taken against him. I don't think they will take any action now. But the point is, how will they reconcile these two factions? Vijayendra faction and Yatnal faction. That reconciliation is a bigger challenge for BJP. That's exactly why all their, Padayatras against Muda or Valmiki, they are not sticking because their house is not in order to start with.
Right. Professor Puranik, let me bring you in. Good evening, sir. Professor Puranik, the basic difference is, of course, like Dr. Yatnal said it very well, that, Yatnal may feel that why should I report into this man, Vijayendra? He's a kid. I don't want to. But see, he has a gang also, Ramesh Jarkiholi, all of them, they are all together in this. I remember Yatnal speaking out, he's a motor mouth, we all know that. Do you think that particularly this drubbing in these 3 by-elections that have happened for the BJP-JDS alliance, Yatnal always said we should be very, very hardcore Hindutva. We should speak against the minorities. But I think something changed when Bommai became the chief minister because he comes from a socialist background. We all know this. Do you think that Yatnal feels that whole hardcore Hindutva core of the BJP in Karnataka has been diluted, so the party is neither here nor there? See, now it's got married to JDS, right? So Yatnal has always felt that they are losing the plot. Do you think that is one reason for this constant clash within the BJP?
I think, while agreeing with your major focus, saying that Yatnal has no choice but to rebel and be defiant always. I think that is there for the last 4 years. Basuraj Yatnal also has mentioned his namesake, but I don't think he will agree with the tactics of Yatnal. Definitely he has differences with Yediyurappa, but first and foremost, he is a senior member of the party. Whether you elect a junior as president or senior, or these are all ego factors. I don't think the future of BJP JDS alliance in Karnataka depends on the unity factor. If there is no unity, they will not be in a position to challenge the present government where many allegations are there. That's why Yatnal was not permitted to join, he didn't join the first protest about Valmiki Nigama and all that. I think there is something somewhere in the High Command which is not bothered to discipline such members, except Yatnal and Ramesh Jarkiholi. All other members who are there, they are only people who have lost the elections. They have no kind of influence in the party, except they have some worker support and all that. So, there are certain things which they should introspect also. I am not saying that Yatnal, what he is doing is wrong, but the discipline. I have talked to many supporters of Yatnal yesterday and day before yesterday, but they say whatever may be his differences, when it comes to the party's survival, he should join the office bearers of the state BJP and go ahead with the kind of united show against whatever the protest that they are taking against CM Yediyurappa government. So therefore, I would say there is a small section of High Command which has given some kind of leverage or freedom to Yatnal. Otherwise, they would have taken action. But it's very difficult to take action against it. If they don't take also, it will be much more damaging. So that is a kind of dilemma which they settled. Since Modi and Amit Shah and all that, they had a lot of trust with the local leaders of BJP and also hope that they will do well in the election. But Lok Sabha election has again shown that Yediyurappa is indispensable.
Absolutely.
Not that his son should be there always, but Yediyurappa also should know how to take take all these people along with them. So I would say that there is a kind of unofficial understanding between one or two members in the High Command
All right.
who
So,
are
yeah.
not in the top level, but
Okay.
they're still encouraging Yatnal
All right.
to do this.
Doctor,
so the
yeah.
incidents is not only from here, but also from outside. And
All
because
right.
High
Let me-
Command has
yeah.
failed. High Command has failed to bring discipline or
All right. Okay.
unity in the party.
Yeah, all right, Professor. Dr. Yatnal, I want to come to you. You know, look at this. You know, they went to the hustings, I mean, with highlighting what you and I would call very credible reasons, you know, although there is now a theory that, you know, it really doesn't, no one bothers about corruption in this country. Maharashtra has proven several other, no one is bothered. They only want something else. They want freebies. They want, like in the north, they call it Labharthi and all that. So look at it. They spoke about Muda. They spoke about Valmiki scam. They spoke about, you know, every other corruption charge which was there. Nothing really stuck on the Congress. A lot of people are saying the people are very smart. When they see a divided house, they don't want to hedge their bets at all. They are very clear that we would go with a weaker party, but where everyone is together. You and I may keep speculating, oh, is Shivakumar wanting that chair? Of course he's wanting. Who doesn't want the top chair? I also want it. But the point is that they still look very united. So do you think one of the reasons is the infighting in the Bharatiya Janata Party in Karnataka? And Yediyurappa was not forceful at all at that time. He left it to JDS and the BJP, you know. And look at what Shivakumar, the DK brothers did. They started in August and I think they really went bang, 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 bang and always highlighted the differences which were there. You think that cost them very dearly, Dr. Yatnal?
No, I guess we're talking about Channapatna, you know, election results that the by-elections that were conducted recently. See, Channapatna case, again, that is also, you know, at one level, what you're saying is right, because of infighting, the defeat was caused. But, you know, it was very much in the open. When, you know, many people like Arvind Bellavar, even Yatnal, they were saying that Yogeshwar should be given a party ticket in Channapatna. Yediyurappa was not in favor. He said, no, it is left to JDS because it is JDS seat. Why did he say that? Because in 2019 and onwards, CP Yogeshwar, Yatnal, Bellar, and these are the people who are talking against him openly. They're talking against him openly, you know, seeking cabinet portfolios, all such things. And Yatnal was very much, you know, talking out of the line, like saying that, you know, if somebody can manage 2,500 crore rupees, he can become chief minister in our party. To that extent, he was talking. But why there was no action taken against Yatnal? Because the RSS core group wanted certain deterrent to Yediyurappa. They wanted him to stay in check. They did not want to let him have a complete control on the party. That's why they cultivated him. In RSS cultivated Yatnal. Now today, even after all these things, I don't think there will be any action against Yatnal. Professor Puranik has correctly said his methods are wrong, but he deserves certain, you know, what do you say? Somebody has to give him what he deserves, and that is not happening because of, again, Yediyurappa's prestige issue. It's not only Yatnal's prestige that is at play here. It's also Yediyurappa's prestige at play also. So, right. And coming to your point about, you know, this divided house, you know, not finding a traction with the voters and all. In fact, come to think of it, on a larger scale, Karnataka BJP, Karnataka JDS, Karnataka Congress, in every party there are splinter groups. There is factionalism. Whether it is Yediyurappa, you know, the DK Shivakumar versus Siddaramaiah in Congress, Yediyurappa versus Yatnal in BJP, or, you know, Kumaraswamy and others in JDS. Now, because of this kind of a confused signaling, they lost. You know, CP Yogeshwar was telling time and again, even if I contest independent, I will win.
Right.
But he was not given ticket because Yediyurappa insisted not to give him.
Right.
Even if he wanted to go out, he did not care.
I remember
so
that, Dr. Yatnal. I do.
Yeah, and a lot of mid-level leaders that I talk to, they tell in BJP that, you know, they are fed up with this, you know, personality cult. You know, love me, love my dog also. You know, that is increasingly becoming very evident in all three parties.
All right.
This personality cult. They want the second level leaders, the mid-level leaders, they want certain recognition and, you know,
of course.
To be given what is due for them.
Yeah, absolutely, Dr. Yatnal. Very, very good point you make. Professor Chambi Puranik, you know, do you think that, okay, if no action is going to be taken against either Vijendra, they will not touch Vijendra. They will not touch Yatnal. They will say, okay, you please make up. But then Vijendra is coming to Delhi to speak to the, leadership about Yatnal, and today, you know, very strong words yesterday and today have been used by Yediyurappa. I'm asking you, there is a strong rumor. They've already asked two junior most leaders to go get out of BJP, and now they're saying they're training their guns at Yatnal, because Yatnal doesn't seem to listen to anybody, who has become an unbridled horse, as it were. Do you think there is a chance that he, with his own gang, will kind of leave the BJP and form something on his own? Because that is something which is not an impossibility, Professor.
I think, you know, your hunch that he may do repeated what Mr. Yediyurappa did, you know, with KJP. I think it will be a very foolish thing also. It is a suicidal. It will be a self-goal, because compared to Yediyurappa, Yatnal is not such a tall leader who has the mass support and all that. That's one, with whatever disability. Second one is, Yatnal is always a person who is always taking pride in his own Hindutva agenda, like Anant Kumar Hegde. Now, why did BJP did not give seat to Anant Kumar Hegde? So, same thing may happen to Yatnal also. So, third thing is, within the whatever the kind of Panchamastali group which he is leading, there is a difference, or there is a division that some people say we don't care for Yatnal's leadership, just as he cares that I don't care for Yediyurappa or party discipline and all that. So he has himself invited all such whatever disciplinary action or high command cautioning and all that. I think it will not be good in the interest of Mr. Yatnal and BJP to allow him to go, with this kind of defiant attitude. You know, it will be definitely a setback for personally for Yatnal and a small group which is supporting him. Look at the office bearer. No office bearer, in spite of his whatever influence in Kalyana, Karnataka, nobody is going with him. Nobody is there. No office bearers are there. They may be afraid of disciplinary action by the High Command. Definitely, party High Command has to look into the party's whatever rules and framework under discipline which they work also. So I think your whatever kind of suspicion that Yatnal may think of forming his own kind of a separate party or group like that. Within the BJP party, it is allowed. All party, all parties have such kind of divisions and groups and all that. But going together with the BJP, whether it is Rajendra or some other person, I think he has to bow to the High Command's dictation or direction. That particular thing has not yet come. They are still weighing the pros and cons of taking strict disciplinary action. But definitely, if not giving him a strength,
all right, last,
will be kind of some kind of disciplinary action. Notice will be given.
1 minute.
The notice is expected. Notice.
I'm left with just 1 minute. Dr. Yatnal, today, you read about the kind of disparaging comments made by Yatnal on Basavanna. I mean, he said, the Lingayat community is extremely angry with him. Do you think that is also, in a way, trying to train his guns at Yediyurappa somewhere? This shame, I don't want to go to what he said, but the metaphor, as it were, the image, as it were, the message. What do you think, Dr. Yatnal? Because this is really, really below the belt and not, it is terrible.
That's precisely the problem with Mr. Yatnal, because he has no control about what should be said publicly, what should not be said publicly, what metaphors to use. He has no sense about that. That's probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing, probably this is one of the reasons why he had to traverse so many parties. From BJP, he had gone to JDS, from JDS, he came back to BJP. And a personal ambition is one thing. And disparaging an entire community or an icon, a reformer like Basavanna, just for political goals is totally not called for, and it's unacceptable.
All right. I've completely run out of time. My apologies. But thank you so much, as always, Dr. Basvaraj Yatnal, for joining us, and Professor Chambi Puranik. Such a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much. So I see that there is a kind of a storm brewing in Karnataka BJP. Let's wait and watch what happens. This is a very exciting story, as usual, in the politics. Thank you very much indeed. And with that, the South Indian will say goodbye for today, but do switch on tomorrow as well at 5 o'clock sharp. The South Indian, the only show which keeps you abreast of whatever is happening in the south of India. Until then, Vanakkam.
Hello.
If your money is fraudulently taken by somebody or if cyber crime takes place with you
क्या हम कृष्णा दास गुप्ता जी से बात कर रहे हैं?
and you report it to the bank within 3 days of the crime, the bank is liable to pay you 100%. This is clear-cut guidelines.
मैं डिपार्टमेंट से बात कर रहा हूँ.
If you report it within 7 days, the bank is liable to pay you 50%. And if you report it 21 days, I think 25% or something.
और हमने ये देखा है कि आपके आधार कार्ड से एक सिम रजिस्टर्ड हुआ है यहाँ.
If the person gives information within the span of 3 to 4 hours, 100% recovery can be done. I personally have seen a lot of cases where 100% recovery has been done.
आपका सिम यूज हुआ है, इलीगल एक्टिविटीज हुई हैं उस सिम से. ओह माय गॉड. मैडम, यू आर ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द नरेश गोयल मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग केस.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
I think India is missing a major trick, not only in terms of soft power and the projection of and presentation of the Indian past, but also the way that you're missing a trick for tourism. I am an expert on history and art history and museums, and I would certainly say you should take a leaf out of Xi Jinping's playbook as far as investing in history and museums and archaeology is concerned. My name is William Dalrymple. I am the author of The Golden Road, How Ancient India Transformed the World, and I'm pleased to be speaking on The Storytellers on News 9 Plus.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
It's your girl Pranvi back with another episode of Love It and List It. रुक जाओ, मैंने एक बार आपको देखा था बीच में guys. And बहुत ज़्यादा फंबल मारा मैंने इस लाइन में. Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Pranvi and welcome back to another fun episode of Love It List It. Today we are at a dreamland for anyone who is saving dates for the upcoming wedding. And today I'm gonna try on some gorgeous lehengas, sarees and suits for you guys. So let's go. बंद नहीं करा मेरा कैमरा.
ये किसान की मजबूरी है इसको जलाना बिल्कुल नहीं चाहता.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश का पालन करें. हम कानून के दायरे में रहकर काम करें, लेकिन हमारे लिए तो नहीं कोई कर रहा.
There is no wind in the city to blow it all away. The air cannot rise high enough to disperse. So everything gets trapped. And that's the reason why every winter we see pollution levels spiraling out of control.
If I zoom down from, the global findings to the national level findings, what we really see is that air pollution continues to be the greatest external threat to human life expectancy.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
India and Lithuania have had diplomatic relations since 1992.
It took us years to discover the potential of each other, so I'm very happy to have a counterpart with whom we work together. Well, India has everything of its own. Aadhaar 2 stage will have a little bit of Lithuanian technology. Lithuanian lasers could be an important component of your success. सब कुछ समझती हूँ, लेकिन इससे अच्छी तरफ सीखना चाहती हूँ. India is my karma bhumi, it's my second home, and I have to say it's just the beginning.
This is The Diplomat.
Hello and welcome. You are watching In Your Interest here on News 9 Live. I am Krishna Kumar and we're putting the focus on India's stock markets and the Sensex holding on to that 80,000 mark after a slow start. Both the benchmark indices of the Indian markets, Nifty and the Sensex, picked up momentum thanks to a strong push from energy, auto, metal and banking stocks. And here's the kicker. Adani Group stocks made a sharp comeback, soaring up to 20%. By the end of the session, the Sensex was up by over 230 points, closing at that 80,234 mark above the 80k peak, while the Nifty added 80 points to settle at 24,274. Market breadth in terms of the number of advancing stocks to declining stocks was in the positive territory. Around 2,470 stocks were up in the green, while a little over 1,300 stocks declined and were in the red, and over 100 stocks remained unchanged for the day. With Sensex holding on to that 80,000 mark, is it then the right time for you to buy? That's the big question that we're asking, and to answer that, we have some special guests joining us. We have Mr. Gaurang Shah, Senior Vice President, Geojit Financial Services Limited, with us. So we also have my colleague Suyash Maheshwari joining us here in the studio. Suyash, before we go to Gaurang, let's put things into context. It's been a volatile time for India stock markets. Many are wondering what to do, be it in terms of investing in stocks directly or for that matter mutual funds. You've seen so many SIP closures happening recently as well, talking about because of how expensive Indian